Welcome to MatheNatic. We are revising algebra for grade 12, paper 1. And in this video, we want to solve for x. So we are given the square root of 2 minus 7x plus 2x is equal to 0. Our first step is to get the x square alone on one side. So what we would need to do is we move the plus 2x to the right-hand side, and that becomes negative 2x. So remember the first step, get the square root alone on one side. For the second step, we would square on both sides. If you square on the left-hand side, it allows you to get rid of the square root. And if you square on the right-hand side, we'll have negative 2x multiplied with negative 2x, which becomes plus 4x squared. Now, a common mistake that learners make is they would square on both sides already right here at the start. So you cannot do that, because then you'll end up with an expression of 2 minus 7x plus 2x multiplied with the square root of 2 minus 7x plus 2x, which does not help you to get rid of the square root. So remember to get the square root alone first on one side, and then you can square on both sides. So after squaring both the left and the right-hand side, we have 2 minus 7x is equals to 4x squared. And what we want to do next is write that equation in standard form. What that means is to have 0 on one side of the equation and all the variables and constant values on another side of the equation. And in this example, I chose to move the 7x to the right-hand side, which makes plus 7x, and the positive 2 also to the right-hand side, which made it negative 2. And now that the equation is in standard form, I can choose to factorize this equation or this expression, or I could use the quadratic formula. The other alternative is to use your white Casio calculator. So instead of factorizing, we can use our Casio calculator. So we press mode, and then a few options will pop up. So we choose then option 5 that says equation. And again, a few options will pop up, and then you choose option 3 that says ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. And then you put the a value as the coefficient of x squared, so that is 4. The b value as the coefficient of x, so that is 7. And then the c value as negative 2, so that's the constant value. And then you'll press the equal sign. If you press the equal sign, it will say x1 is equals to a quarter. You can always convert that to a decimal value if you would like. And x2 is equals to negative 2. So that is how you can solve for x using your calculator. But just notice, often you would need to rewrite your answers in terms of its factors. So you would still need to express that answer in brackets. And if you can't do that, you can simply take this equation, use the quadratic formula from your formula sheet, and then show that substitution. So remember, that is x is equals to minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So this is on your formula sheet, and then you substitute the a, b, and c value as I explained it in the previous video. Now you would notice that one of the x values I actually reject. And the reason why we do that is we need to test these x values in our original equation to see if it satisfies the equation. So if I take x is equals to a quarter and I substitute it into the place of x in my original equation, I see that that is equal to 1. But can you see that the result is supposed to be equal to 0? So the left-hand side is equal to 1, and this is not equal to 0. Therefore, x cannot be equal to a quarter. And if I test x equals to negative 2, so I substitute negative 2 in the place of x, in my original equation, that is equals to 0, and that satisfies the equation. Therefore, we do not reject x equals to -2. Now, in your final exam, you do not need to show this checking. You simply do it in your calculator and see if the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side once you have substituted x. If it's not, then you would reject the value where that is not true. Thank you for watching. Remember to show your support by hitting the like button and subscribing to MatheNatic.